I was pawing my way through some of Jeff Beck's stuff today. May he rest in power. And the one that really spoke to me was his and Johnny Depp's rendition of John Lennon's Isolation, but I ran into a couple of snags. One, he's clearly doing some most excellent slide guitar work, and I am not a slide guitar player and certainly don't play one on the internet. Two, I think he's in an alternate tuning of some sort, and I don't think you want to retune your guitar. So what I thought we'd do today is I'm going to take you through the song, and I want to show you what I would do to this song if you came to me and said, Ryan, we're performing this song tomorrow, and I didn't have, like a decade and a half to develop some new skills. So here we go with how to play Jeff Beck's rendition of John Lennon's Isolation, adapted for mere mortals. Beginning with the main verse riff, what you're going to do is take your pointer finger and put it on D, G, B, 7, and this D string is going to walk up 1 fret each time until you're out of fingers, unless you're that one guy. Pluck low to high, and then you can pluck low again as that 4th pluck he does sometimes, doesn't other times, you do you. Middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Now, the technical blues term for this next move is a B-double-E-Y-double-O-M, Beum. And you're going to land on the 3rd fret of the E string. If you want, you can strum a G chord. He mostly doesn't. I like to. And then I'm going to throw just a generic G minor pentatonic riff in here, and we're going to talk about those possibilities next. And then he lands on D. So here we go. 7th fret. Middle finger. Ring finger. Pinky finger. Beum. For the main verse riff. Okay, now to set the stage, G minor pentatonic in the position we all know and love is 3-6, 3-5, 3-5, 3-5, 3-6, 3-6. Also, we're going to use the shape that goes beneath that. It's going to be 3-1, 3-1, 3-0, and that's all that's useful for us. Now, also, we're going to throw some wrong notes in there, namely this one on the G string 4th fret, and this one on the B string 5th fret. That's going to be part of this move, where instead of grabbing G5 and B6 and bending the G string, that's great. He does this a lot in presumably his tuning and his slide. G5 and B5, bend both of those. That's the crux of this song, That was, I'm so sorry I mentioned that song in this video about... Riff number 1 for you to consider. We're going to start with that move. We'll call it the bendy move. And then we're going to land on B3, G4 before we hit our D chord. A variation on that would be if we start with our bendy move. But let's go down to 3 and 3, hammer on that G string 4th fret, and then reach for the D string 5th fret. There's that wrong note we talked about, and now you see that it's the major 3rd, or part of our baby F-shaped G major chord, so that's how come that note gets included a lot. Riff number 2 in the vein of, so to speak. I'm going to grab the B string 1st fret with my ring finger because I'm going to slide up to the 3rd fret, reach back for baby E1, and here's another wrong note, again, so to speak. It's going to be the B string 2nd fret, that is C sharp, or the flat 5, a blue note relative to the chord in question, which is G. Down to the 1st fret, and now I'm going to grab G and B in the 3rd fret this time and do the bendy move before I strum them both open. Personal favorite out of those. Grab the G string 3rd fret, hammer up to the 4th fret, B3, E3, B6, 3, And then I'm going to grab G and B in the 5th fret, but I'm not going to do any bends. Just play them just like that. You use one finger down to the 3rd fret, and then D. Last time on the syllable I, meaning the first syllable of the word isolation, you're not going to land on D after your G minor riff. You're going to land on A. So into the chorus. One last thing before we do the chorus. I want to talk about after he lands on the D chord, sometimes he does some little lead-ins to that main verse riff. One you can do as open A, hammer onto 2, pluck the open D string, which gives you all the time you need to get up there. The other one, I'm going to start with E5 up to 7, which I realize is the same 2 notes. But this time I want to use the A string to go A, 5, 7, 9. So you pick, or just a lot of chunky G chords, so squeeze your chord right when you strum, and you'll get it kind of separated, a little bit staccato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, D. And the chorus is going to be D. Make sure to stop it like that. A, G. A, second line, D. Third line G, A, G, A, G, A, G, let it ring, A, let it ring, into the first jam. If you're going to play the lead guitar, the solos in jam number 1, use not the G minor pentatonic, but the D minor pentatonic. So same shape, but starting on the 10th fret, 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 13. If you're going to be the rhythm guitar, which is a really good time, we're going to play, big open-ish chord versions of the verse riff, and those chords are D, D augmented, which is going to be 2, 3, 3. I'm going to play the entire B minor, and then D7. You could play it like normal, or you could play it my favorite way to play D7, which is C, 2 frets higher, plus the pinky finger on G5. Each would be great, and then G, and then D on this timing. D, D augmented, whole B minor, D7, G, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4 for the rhythm section. But Jam 2's chords are a little less finessey. I believe they're D, regular old B flat, starting on the A string, 1, 3, 3, 3. Notice the note that makes D augmented is B flat, the G string 3rd fret, so that kind of makes sense. They wanted to hit that chord change a little more bluntly in that second, more raucous jam. D, B flat, B minor, and C. You can play these chords, and at some point, someone switches over to playing the octave chord versions of that, which is going to be the A string, 5th fret, and the G string, 7th fret. This shape isn't going to change. It's just going to go from 5 and 7, that's the D, to 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 5. You can do that if you want to. Thrilling to pick apart and go through, and reminded me with a big punch in the face that there's a whole universe of guitar that I spend very little time thinking about. I'm not a blues guitarist, but sometimes it's good to step outside your comfort zone, publicly even. So thank you for stepping outside my comfort zone with me. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.